chosen ones. The message you are about to hear is not ordinary. It is a divine revelation from the throne room of heaven. If your eyes are on this screen, if your heart is leaning in, know this: God led you here. You were not just browsing. You didn't stumble across this by chance. The Spirit of God ordered your steps and orchestrated this moment because your soul needed to hear this exact word. Heaven has a message with your name on it, and it's arriving now. Here it is. You made God very happy today. Yes, you. Not because you reached a milestone, not because you gave a perfect performance, not even because you shouted loudest during worship. What touched the heart of the Father wasn't something big in the eyes of people. It was something quiet, sacred, and unseen. A private act of obedience, a small step of faith, a whisper of surrender, a moment when you could have walked away but chose to stay faithful. No one else saw it, but heaven did. Heaven watched, heaven smiled, and now heaven is responding. The reward may not come the way you expect. It may be peace, it may be strength, it may be a door opening where none existed before, but make no mistake, your obedience shook something in the spirit, and God, who sees in secret, is about to reward you openly. So stand firm, chosen one. The God who saw you is the God who's about to honor you. Before we go any further, if this message is stirring something deep within you, take a moment to like this video. If you felt God drawing you closer in this season, hit subscribe and stay connected. And don't stay silent. Drop your city and your local time in the comments. Let's watch the remnant rise from every corner of the earth. To every faithful giver using the link pinned in the comment section or super thanks feature, your offering is more than generosity. It's spiritual agreement. You're not just sowing money, you're sowing surrender. You're saying, God, I align with your will. And because of that, expect the covering of heaven, supernatural clarity, and the strength to walk boldly through whatever comes next. Now let's go deeper. Let's start very simple. What does it mean to make God happy? Let's pretend for a moment that you've never read a Bible. You've never heard a preacher. You're a newborn child learning how to read and understand the things of God. Let me explain this in the simplest way possible. God is not some distant judge with a clipboard waiting for you to mess up. He's not hiding behind clouds, keeping score of your sins. He is your Father, not just in name, but in heart, in presence, in love. And just like any good father, he cares deeply for his child. He's patient with your learning. He's not waiting to punish you. He's longing to walk with you. God watches everything you do, but not like a spy in the shadows. He watches like a loving parent watching their child take their first shaky steps, cheering for every movement, even the ones that end in a fall. He watches like a teacher who knows the student will get the answer wrong at first, but still smiles because learning is happening. He watches with joy, with hope, with tenderness. He sees your efforts, even when they don't look perfect. He sees your heart, even when your words stumble. And he smiles, not because you're flawless, but because you're trying, because you're growing. And when you do something beautiful, something right, something loving, something pure, especially when no one else is watching, it makes him happy. It brings joy to his heart, like a parent seeing their child give generously, speak kindly, or stand bravely. Even the smallest acts of faith, the tiniest whispers of obedience, the secret moments of love, they matter. They matter deeply. God sees them. He celebrates them. And even if the world never notices, heaven does. And your Father is proud. What exactly did God see? Now, let's go deeper. What kind of things make God happy? What brings a smile to his face and moves his heart with delight? It's not always the loud, public displays of faith. It's often the quiet, hidden acts of love and obedience, the ones no one sees but him. These moments, though small in the eyes of the world, shine like stars in heaven. God sees the inner battles you fight, the self-control you show, the kindness you give without applause, and He doesn't overlook a single one. Here are some examples of what God saw. You forgave someone who hurt you deeply, even though they never apologized. That forgiveness echoed in heaven. You whispered a prayer when your heart was breaking, when your mind was foggy, when everything in you wanted to give up, and God leaned in to listen. You chose silence over anger when you were provoked, preserving peace instead of starting a war. And that restraint was a sweet offering to the Lord. You gave what you had, whether time, money, or love, even when you were running low yourself. You shut the door on a temptation that no one else knew about, and you chose purity when no one was watching. You helped someone who could never repay you, and in that moment, you reflected the heart of Christ. Now listen closely. These acts may never make the news. No one may post them online. You won't be handed a gold medal or a certificate. But in the courts of heaven, they are noticed, they are honored, they are recorded. God calls them precious. He calls them holy. He calls them powerful. Why? Because they reveal a heart that loves Him, not just with words, but with actions. And when God sees that kind of heart, He doesn't just smile, He draws near. Let's teach like a baby. Why is this so powerful? Let's slow all the way down. Let's pretend you are 5 years old, and I am sitting beside you on the floor, teaching you with colorful building blocks. Each block is a truth, and I'm going to stack them one by one so you can see clearly how much you matter to God, even when no one else notices. A. God sees. This is the first block. It means nothing is hidden from God, not your quiet tears, not your tiny acts of kindness, not your whispered prayers in the dark. Even the smallest thing you do, like choosing to forgive or being kind when no one's watching, He sees it all. He doesn't miss a thing. You don't need a spotlight when His eyes are already on you. B. God cares. This is the second block. It means He doesn't just see, He feels. He pays attention. He notices the effort it took to do the right thing. He understands your battles. He values your choice to walk in love, in truth, in obedience. God is not distant. He is close. He is watching like a loving father who celebrates every small victory of his child. C. God rewards. This is the third block. It means He's not just watching and caring. He's preparing a reward, a blessing, a breakthrough. God never forgets your faithfulness. Heaven keeps record of every unseen sacrifice. And when the time is right, God will respond, not randomly, but personally. He will reward you in ways that silence the doubt and cancel the delay. So now let me ask you a question. If God sees and God cares and God rewards, then why are you worrying about who else sees you? Let this truth settle deep in your heart like a warm blanket. You are already seen. You are already known. You are already celebrated by heaven, and that is more than enough. Let's go beyond earth for a second. Close your eyes and imagine the throne of God, radiant, glorious, burning with holiness. Surrounding it are multitudes of angels, too many to count, all worshipping without pause. Now imagine something deeply personal, your name being mentioned in heaven, not because you're famous, not because you stood on a stage, but because you obeyed, quietly, privately, faithfully, when no one was watching, and heaven noticed. When you choose to obey God in secret, when you resist temptation, speak kindly, give sacrificially, or forgive silently, even though no human applauds you, heaven gets loud. It is not silent, it is not indifferent, it is not passive. The angels lean in, the Holy Spirit bears witness, God smiles, and that act of obedience is recorded. It doesn't disappear into the shadows, it echoes through eternity. In the spirit realm, something is unlocked, something shifts, and a divine reward is set in motion. That reward may not always look like money or applause. Sometimes it's peace that makes no sense. Sometimes it's an open door you didn't knock on. Sometimes it's protection from something you didn't even know was coming. Sometimes it's supernatural favor that places you in rooms you were never qualified for. But make no mistake, obedience in the shadows produces favor in the light. You may feel hidden now, but heaven is watching. And what you do in secret will not stay secret forever. God will honor it in ways you never imagined. Let's be real now. Let's talk honestly, like heart to heart. No filters, no pretending. Why do we sometimes feel invisible? Why do we question whether our prayers are powerful or whether our obedience even makes a difference? Why do we wonder if our small sacrifices, the ones no one knows about, actually matter to God? It's because deep down, many of us have been shaped by a world that values visibility over intimacy with God. We've been conditioned to believe that impact must be seen by others to be real, and that's a dangerous lie. Here's the truth. We've been trained by the world to crave instant recognition. If people don't clap, we assume God isn't pleased. If we don't get a like, a share, or a comment, we start to doubt whether heaven even noticed. If the crowd stays silent, we convince ourselves that our worth is low. But here's what you need to remember. Heaven's applause sounds nothing like earth's applause. God doesn't measure your obedience by how many people saw it. He measures it by how deeply it aligned with his heart. Every time you chose integrity over impressing people, every time you followed the Spirit instead of the crowd, heaven stood in honor of your obedience. So let me correct that thinking. Your value is not in who sees you, it's in who sent you. Your identity is not based on how many people approved of you, it's based on the one who called you. God is not interested in your popularity. He's interested in your purity. He's not measuring your life by applause. He's measuring it by surrender. So don't get discouraged if nobody claps. If heaven stands when you kneel in obedience, you've already won. Let me ask you something real, something that should shake your perspective. Where was David anointed? Not in a palace, not on a stage, not in front of thousands. He was in a field, tending sheep, alone, unseen, forgotten even by his own father. Where was Moses called? Not in a temple, not in Egypt, not among a crowd. He was in the wilderness, with no audience, no spotlight, just fire and a voice that shook his destiny. Where was Jesus tested before ministry? In the desert, alone, fasting, confronting Satan face to face, with no followers watching, no applause, just the fight. So why do you feel discouraged when you're in a hidden place? Why do you question God's presence just because no one else is around? Why do you assume that being unseen means you are unimportant? Listen to me. The hidden place is not punishment. It's preparation. It is sacred. It is holy. It is the very place where God molds his chosen ones. The silence you feel. It's not abandonment. It's the sound of heaven crafting your next season. Your secret obedience, your silent yes to God, your quiet battles, they are laying the foundation for something public, something powerful, something eternal. Let me say it clearly. The secret place is where spiritual strength is born. It's not weakness. It's not delay. It's divine design. That quiet place of prayer, that space of fasting, that moment of surrender when no one's looking, that is where your real power is forged. It's where you become dangerous to the enemy. It's where you're filled, refined, and strengthened. So don't despise the hidden season. Embrace it. Because the ones God uses publicly are always the ones he shapes privately. Chosen one, listen very carefully, not with your ears, but with your spirit. You are passing a test right now, and you didn't even realize it. This wasn't a test you studied for. There were no warning signs, no calendar reminders, no prophetic dreams to mark the moment. God sometimes gives silent exams. Exams that don't come with a trumpet blast. Just quiet moments that reveal who you really are. Tests that are less about what you say and more about how you respond when no one is watching. Moments where heaven leans in and earth stays silent. No announcement, no crowd, no spotlight, just your character when no one's affirming you, just your patience when the wait feels endless, just your faith when nothing is going the way you hoped. These are the deep tests, the kind that separate the called from the chosen. You didn't know it, but God was watching the way you stayed when you could have left, the way you remained faithful when the door didn't open, the way you forgave when no one said sorry. You thought it was just another hard day, but heaven saw it as a final question on the exam, and today, yes, today, you passed. You didn't cheat your way through with shortcuts. You didn't pretend to believe with fake smiles. You didn't run away when it got hard. You stayed, you trusted, you obeyed. And because of that, a sound has been released in the spirit. Well done, my child, well done. This is not just a compliment, it is a divine announcement. It means the season is shifting. It means God is opening a new chapter. It means you are ready for what's next. So walk forward with boldness, not because it's easy, but because you've been approved in the secret place. Let me paint a picture for you, one so simple yet so powerful it will stay with you. Imagine this. Every time you obey God in secret, every time you choose Him over the world, a brick is laid. One brick, then another, and another. You don't see the full structure yet. No one applauds, no one claps. But you're building something sacred. Every act of obedience, every moment of surrender, every tear you cried when no one was there to comfort you. It all matters. It's not wasted. It's not forgotten. It's forming something eternal. Every private prayer you prayed in your bedroom, every silent act of forgiveness you gave to someone who didn't deserve it, every dollar you gave that no one knew about, every time you turned down sin, even when your flesh screamed yes, every time you worshipped when your heart was heavy, God saw it. And each of those moments was a brick laid in love, a holy construction project, not of buildings or ministries or platforms, but of a throne for the living God to rest in your life, a place where His glory can dwell, a foundation where His presence becomes permanent. And one day, not far from now, what you built in the dark will be revealed in the light. What you built with tears will be crowned with glory. What no one else saw, God will honor. People will wonder, where did this power come from? Where did this favor come from? And the answer will not be in your talent or your connections. It will be in your hidden obedience. So don't grow weary. Keep building, because soon the God you've made room for in secret will reveal Himself in power through you. Let me say this clearly, with tenderness and truth. Your tears are not wasted, not a single one. God does not overlook your pain, your heartbreak, or the moments you weep in silence. He is not distant from your suffering. He is near to the brokenhearted. Psalm chapter 56 verse 8 tells us something remarkable. You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? That means every restless night, every ache in your chest, every drop that falls from your eyes. God sees it, collects it, and writes it down. Nothing is missed, nothing is thrown away. When you cry in private, when you sob into your pillow with no one there to hold you, heaven is not silent. God leans in, He draws near. Your tears are not a sign of weakness. They are a form of worship when you still trust Him through the pain. When you lift your hands in broken worship, when you whisper prayers through trembling lips, when your heart is shattered but your spirit says, "Yes, Lord," heaven sings with you. The angels stand still. Because you are doing something holy, you are loving God through your tears. And here's the promise you must hold on to. God will turn those tears into testimony. What you wept over in the dark, He will redeem in the light. The nights that broke you will become stories that heal others. The pain that silenced you will become power that speaks life. You may feel buried right now, but you're not buried, you're planted. And in due time, God will water those tears and cause a harvest of joy to spring forth. So cry if you must, but cry with hope, because heaven has your tears and a resurrection is coming. Here is a prophetic word, and it's not a suggestion, it's a divine announcement. Doors are opening for you, not because of who you know, but because of how you obeyed. These doors are not the kind you can force open. They are not the kind that respond to status, strategy, or charm. These are divinely guarded doors, and they only respond to obedience. You didn't network your way here. You didn't manipulate your way in. You walked the hard road, the holy road, and now heaven is unlocking something man cannot block. You didn't bribe anyone. You didn't beg for a seat at the table. You didn't compromise your purity just to gain favor. Instead, you obeyed in silence. You honored God behind the scenes. You sowed in secret. You stayed clean in a world that rewards corruption. You kept your integrity when shortcuts were available, and God took note. Every quiet yes, every hidden sacrifice, every moment you chose holiness over hype, it has been recorded. And now it's harvest time. God is about to reward you openly, not in secret, not in shadows, but in broad daylight. He's about to place you in positions that don't make sense to the world. He's about to honor you publicly for what you did privately. Don't be surprised when people ask, "How did you get here?" Because your answer won't point to influence, it will point to intimacy. God is making it clear. Obedience is the highest currency in the kingdom, and you, chosen one, are about to reap the reward. Let me close with this fire in my bones, a word burning so deep I can't keep it in. Heaven saw the thing you almost forgot about. That small act of obedience you didn't even think mattered. That quiet surrender. That private moment of worship when your heart was heavy. That simple yes you whispered when no one else heard you. That late night you stayed awake, not for yourself, but to intercede for someone else's breakthrough. That moment when quitting seemed easier, but you stayed anyway, faithful, humble, and unseen. Heaven saw it, God recorded it, and not just in a book, but in His heart. The world may never know what it cost you. No one may ever celebrate you for it. But God smiled. The King of Glory took notice. And when God smiles, atmospheres shift. Chains break. Favor flows. There are things you did in the dark that heaven is now ready to display in the light. Not to make you famous, but to prove that He rewards those who diligently seek Him, even when it's quiet, even when it's costly. And today, God is speaking directly to your spirit. You made me very happy, and what you did in secret, I will honor in the open. Get ready. What was hidden is about to be revealed. What was quiet is about to echo. The reward is coming, and it will be undeniable that it came from heaven, not because you were seen by man, but because you were faithful before God. Chosen one, walk out of this message with your head lifted and your spirit ignited. You are not forgotten, even if people overlooked you. You are not unseen, even if the crowd stayed silent. You are not small, even if the world tried to shrink you. You carry divine weight. You walk with heavenly backing. Your obedience has shaken realms you cannot see, and your name is known in places your feet haven't touched yet. You are chosen, handpicked by God for such a time as this. You are loved, not because of what you've done, but because of who He is. You are celebrated in heaven, not for your popularity, but for your purity. Heaven rejoices over you. Angels have witnessed your secret, yes, and the King of Glory has written your name in His book, not in pencil, but in eternal ink. You are not a mistake. You are a message. You are not a shadow. You are a light. So now, live like it, pray like it, walk in fire, speak with authority. You have nothing to prove, because the one who matters most has already approved you. Go forth, chosen one, and shake the earth with heaven's fire. If this message set your heart ablaze, don't keep the fire to yourself. Spread it. Share it. Someone needs this word more than you know. Speak it. Let your voice carry truth in a world starving for it. Subscribe, because every message here isn't just content, it's divine ignition for your soul. And come back, not just for another video, but for another encounter, a meeting point between heaven and your heart, a place where God speaks, the Spirit stirs, and your fire keeps burning. You made God smile today. Now go and make him smile again every single day you wake up breathing. Live bold, walk holy, stay burning.